What is up, everybody? Live in the BR app. Welcome to another episode of Cleats and Convos with Deebo Samuel, presented by State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Love it. Okay, how do you want to start your show? Take it away, Deebo Samuel.
First and foremost, we just played Buffalo. Sadly, we had a 9-year-old cancer survivor. Congratulations on surviving cancer. And I recently seen that, it was her first game. Sad to see the experience that she went through, of course. But I reached out to the family. Haven't got a response yet, but want to make your game day experience way better than what you experienced. For us, like inviting you and your family to one of these next home games that we have. So hopefully hear back from you guys soon and get you out here and, enjoy Levi's and, get to see the Niners play for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the people that don't know, she had a run-in with a Bills fan, and she was just there to watch some football, support her favorite team, and ended up having kind of a not-so-great night. So
we'll make it better.
Deebo's trying to hook you up.
Yeah. So once your mom, dad sees this or check their messages, we'll get you guys out to the game and hopefully have another game to watch, but a better experience for sure.
Yeah, and maybe a little warmer.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Perhaps. Warmer now. 100% warmer.
Well, that definitely is a good segue into that game that you guys had in Buffalo. You were talking a little bit before we went live about just Buffalo in general, how the fans are just different, but mostly different because they live in Buffalo. The snow looked crazy. Take us back. Maybe you're trying to forget it, but take us back. I mean, that looks photoshopped.
Yeah. It's just crazy, like just being there. Where we stayed at, it was, it wasn't no snow. So it was like, yeah, it's snowing, and we like, all right, we get it's gonna be snowing, but how much of it is it? And it's kind of crazy because you go 10 minutes down the road and it look like a blizzard, and you go 10 minutes back towards our hotel, it look like California outside, but
That's crazy.
A little darker, a little different. But I mean, you got I like the cold is crazy. I feel like you got to be a different type of cat to just to live there all year round and deal with the snow and the cold. I'm not a fan of too much of the cold, even though I'm from the South, we get it a little bit, but it ain't like that.
Well, the snow looked like Dippin' Dots. It was like it wasn't like fluffy, soft snow. It looked really like tough and hard. I saw you guys like tapping your feet to get the snow off your cleats. Like, was it tough to play in that type of snow?
Yeah, it was tough for sure. But at the end of the day, they played on the same turf, snow,
of course,
environment that we played in. Of course, but it's just crazy because, like, as a kid, where I'm from, like when it snowed, you have fun and we go out there and play, throw them up, bust them up, what some people call it, baddest man. Like to see the snow be stuck like literally on the bottom of your cleats, and it's like kind of hard to maneuver. So we don't blame that, but at the end of the day, like it was an experience for sure. It wasn't too cold though. Like it wasn't.
I was just gonna ask that.
It
next,
wasn't cold it wasn't cold as people think it was, but it was cold. Don't get me wrong. It was more so the wind and snow and how hard it was sticking to the ground.
Yeah, the snow looked like a different texture. I mean, obviously, being from Colorado, I've seen like every type of snow, but that snow was different for sure. Did you guys have to change your cleats at all?
It's kind of scary though. Only in the aspect of, you wear your studs in the bottom of your cleats when it's like wet, like grass, like muggy, so you don't slip. So first half we out there with our regular cleats on, and I'm like, I don't know, like, cause you don't supposed to wear studs on turf, because if you stick in the ground, you're gonna get stuck, and anything could happen. But at the halftime, I was like, bro, I went out there, and I tried to run a route, and I literally slipped everywhere. I was like, bro, you know what? Just bring my studs. But I was still being cautious of how hard I stick my foot in the ground, because if you stick your studs in the ground on turf, it's no give. You're gonna stick, and then anything could happen. But I think the middle of the third quarter, I put some studs on, but it didn't really change anything.
Didn't really help.
Nah.
Would you ever go barefoot in the snow?
Never.
I'm not sure
Nah,
if you
that's not
saw.
happening. Nah,
I'm
that's
not
not
sure if you saw
happening.
Matt
I've
Collins
seen that, yeah, for
barefoot.
sure.
I actually, oh my god! I mean, come on, that's
Yeah,
like painful to look at.
That's different, though, for sure.
Yeah, I actually, I'm not sure if you know who Brandon Jones is. He was just traded to the Broncos, but I was actually talking with his wife about Mac Hollins because they got to know each other pretty closely. And I guess Brandon has said that there is a lot of benefit to grounding yourself with the earth. Like he really enjoyed it for sure. But not when the earth looks like this.
You're touching turf, not earth.
Right. Let's make an exception here. Let's put some boundaries in place. I mean, that is crazy. Not to mention, didn't he look like a mad scientist or something walking into the game?
Yeah, I seen that. He was cleaned up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he looked great, and it was perfect because what's more mad than also being barefoot? Right. Would you still say that Green Bay game that we talked about last week was worse?
Yeah, it was the coldest. It still was cold. But I don't think it was this type of snow. This was a different type of snow.
So this is the worst snow you've played in?
Yeah, for sure.
It looked crazy.
But it was way colder in Green Bay than it was in 2021 than it was this past weekend.
Yeah, no, I don't really like standing in snow. Can't imagine playing football in snow. Tell me a little bit. We won't get into a ton of detail just about Buffalo and this Bills team and kind of how that game went in your eyes.
It didn't go in our favor. No means. We just like I said, the media, we just got to be better as a team. Buffalo was a great team, as they've shown all year long. Great quarterback. Their defense playing at a high level for sure. But not to talk too much about it, but overall they came out ready to play. We came out ready to play. We just, they just had a better day at the time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about, I want to know what your reaction was from the sideline during Josh Allen's passing/receiving touchdown.
I was standing up at that time. And I seen him throw a slant, and I think it was Amari Cooper, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Amari Cooper. I think he ran like a slant, but he was slipping and falling, and I don't know. I don't know. He was just slipping and falling, and it looked like the ball was about to fall out, and I don't know. Josh Allen just ran over, and he just tossed it back to him, and he scored. That play was just crazy, though.
It was.
That was crazy.
I mean, I feel like even if he's not on your team, you can just look at that, watch that, and tough. Have a ton of respect for it. Let's talk about the bummer of the game, which is Christian McCaffrey. You get him back. Now he's playing, and unfortunately is now dealing with PCL.
Don't make me lie. I don't know.
Something with his knee. Because I was seeing a lot of videos circulate on social media about people thinking that it was his Achilles, actually. Mm-hmm. They thought that he stepped down and his calf looked weird. Turns out it's actually his knee. What are the adjustments going to look like with him? You kind of get him back, get that leadership back. Now he's out. And then we had Jordan Mason, who stepped into his role really, really well. Now he's out. So what does that look like in terms of you guys just adjusting to losing two great guys?
Kind of hard to say, for sure. We'll know more about that tomorrow once we get in the building and hear what Kyle got to say about everything. But it sucks to lose a guy like Christian for sure. A captain of our team, somebody we lean on heavily, of course. But with this game come injuries, and you never want to see one of your peers go down at all. And at the end of the day, I was on the sideline. I didn't really know that he was hurt. Like in the spur of the moment,
it was hard to tell even from my perspective.
Like in the spur of the moment, you all right, what's the next play? Da, 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 da. Even when we got off the field, I still wasn't we were still so locked in on the game. Well, me personally and the people in our room, we was just all right. Then we went out there and I was like, where Christian at? And then in the spur of the moment, y'all where Christian at? Just looking around in the huddle. And I was like, all right, guys, we got the drive, call a play, who this, that, and third. So I get on the sideline. I'm like, what happened to Christian? And there's his knee. And, once I hear the knee, I just think of the worst if he cannot come back in the game. And probably, I think it's a PCL or something. I think he's out for probably 4 to 6 weeks. And that's
I think I saw
a little bit of time. Weeks. And then with the Jordan Mason issue, I didn't even know he was hurt either. Because he was in the game still running like it was normal, and then Isaac come in and score on the screen. So I'm just thinking we just rotating at the time, and then till yesterday, I look and see that he has a high ankle sprain. I'm like, when did this happen? But yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll go in tomorrow. We'll see what the plan is. I think Isaac has been doing a tremendous job with the opportunity that he's had. But It's time to ramp it up a little bit for him for sure.
Yeah.
He I think the moment ain't too big for him. He's ready for the moment,
sure.
but we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
I feel like there's an aspect of luck that's involved with football. Just because there's so many things that have to go right with a team in order to make it to the Super Bowl. And felt like you guys had a pretty healthy year last year. Feels like luck is just not on your side. Feels like that McCaffrey play was kind of the season in a nutshell, where it's great play, executed well until luck isn't really on your side. You've had a lot of injuries. A lot of personal stuff has happened with this team this season. Do you feel like it's going to make you guys all better football players on the other side? Because you've had to adjust a lot. Every week it's looked different.
Yeah, but like I stated, injuries come with this game.
Of course.
And like the head man Kyle says, it's kind of like a next man up mentality. And it's just like a standard that we built. No matter who's in the game, you should know what the standard is. You should be able to play to that standard at a high level. But yeah, man, like it's crazy. I kind of, 2020 we went to the 2019 we went to the Super Bowl, and 2020 our whole team was damn near hurt. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, Jesus, we went to the Super Bowl last year. Now we're dealing with injuries and everything all over again. I'm a very superstitious person, so I just be like, is this like a thing? You know what I'm saying? And it's just
like the post Super Bowl slump or something. Your body's
it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, like we still have a chance. So time to man up. Put your big boy pants on and get ready for work.
I can't imagine a ton has changed from last year to this year in terms of like your guys' rehab and how you take care of your bodies. Do you feel like it's just a testament to like maybe how much you guys pushed your bodies last year that you've got?
Yes, it's definitely tough. Super Bowl run. It's a long season. Mm-hmm. I think we start mandatory camp in July. OTA starting, I think, like April or something like that. But just picture like you go to Super Bowl and you right back to work like 5 to 6 weeks later. Like you ain't gave your body enough time to get all the way back together. And then at the end of the day, like you can sit back and blame. You can blame that. You can blame this, that, and the third. But it's a part of the game.
Of course.
This is what we signed up for. This is what we do as a job. This is how we take care of our family. So at the end of the day, you can't make excuses and be like, all right, this is what happened. All right, now this is why this is happening. At the end of the day, like, you got to be your own man. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of yourself in order for you to perform at a high level in this league. And, if you can't do that, like I've been in the league 6 years now, seen guys in and out. It's just like you gotta do what it takes to, to be your best self.
Which is fair, but I do feel like there is an aspect of, especially this season, it just feels like when it rains, it pours with the 49ers right now. There's a lot of, like I said, personal stuff and injuries and all that. So I've got a lot of respect for you guys for pushing through it. I mean, do you feel like it's been more physically tough or mentally tough?
It's a little bit of both. Football is both without, injuries or winning and losses. It's like, football as a whole is mentally and physically like
for
draining.
You personally though this season.
It's been both, mentally and
so?
physically for sure. I deal with nicks and bruises here and there, and the mental part of
let's not forget pneumonia, folks. That was the scariest time ever. Oh my gosh.
The mental part of what you want to do in this offense, and it's kind of like you kind of waiting on that moment to come, but at the end of the day, like you just have to be strong. You have to be a man and go to work and put the work in, and when the opportunity comes, it just comes.
Yeah. Okay, Fred Warner found out playing through a fractured ankle. Deebo, what are some of the craziest injuries you have had to play through that people may not know about?
It's been a lot.
I was gonna say maybe just pick your top one.
No,
I'm sure it's every week that you've got something.
I won't say none of the things that I've been through in the league, because it's not my. If I'm playing, I'm playing. If I'm not, I'm not. If I'm playing through this, I'm playing through it. It's just like whatever at that point. So I'm not gonna be like, all right, this is what I'm dealing with at the end of the day. But kind of like in college, I broke my fibula, and I thought I had an ankle sprain. And I went to the sideline and I told the trainers that I had a high ankle sprain, but I never had one of those before. So I was just like, you know what, just spat me up, and I'm going back out here. I went out there and played like 4 plays, and I think the 4th play, Coach Muschamp called a slant. and I stuck it in the ground, and all I heard was cut, 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 cut. I'm like, yo, this is broke. But yeah, that's probably one of the. That's
I don't
probably
do
one of
bones.
the, yeah.
Bones stuff. That's where I get like very queasy. But I do think
Gotcha.
there's a lot of the obviously injuries come with the game, of course, and I think there's a lot of stuff you guys play through and probably don't want to talk about because you don't want to make it sound like an excuse, maybe after a loss or whatever. But I mean, a fractured ankle, that's big stuff, and I'm sure you've had similar injuries, but you guys have a job where it's a little harder to, 9 to 5, you can maybe call out, get a few sick days. On an NFL Sunday, probably a little tougher. I mean, you probably should have used a sick day this season, tried, and then your body was like, nope,
Yeah, I could've.
we're parking it. Okay. How did the locker room feel after Bill's game, or how do you anticipate this week of practice is going to look? Because again, it's going to be another adjustment week.
Yeah.
So
Locker room was like, you can't make no excuses. It's just like we know, offense know, defense know, special teams know that we just have to be better as a whole. Because at the end of the day, with this game, you feed off each other.
Yeah.
So in order to be a good team, right, as an offense, you have to go out, score points, whether it's 3 or 7. You have to give your defense some momentum.
Of course.
Kind of like basketball, like fast break, slam dunk, like da-da-da-da-da. And then you get a stop after that, you get another one or a 3 ball. Now you got all the momentum. So it's just like, in a football aspect, it's just like, all right, we get 3 or 7. We give our defense some momentum.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, say we don't get no points and the defense go 3 and out, or they get a pick or a forced fumble. Now they're giving us the momentum to go out there, just that in the third. And like, it all has to match for special teams, like a big return or a block field goal, block punt. That is momentum to the offense or the defense. So like, we have to come to a place where we're playing complementary football. For it's like, all right, offense, you just went and scored 7. All right, our defense just went 3 and out. All right, we just had a good punt return. All right, offense up. All right, let's go do it again. Now we're rolling. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's just what we have to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team effort. You talk about momentum. I think you brought a lot of that in that game. Kick return, master. Okay, an absolute master class. And I just do find it funny. I think that there's so often, following games or fan bases getting frustrated with losses, which is a part of it. I've been a Denver Broncos fan my whole life. I share a lot of frustrations with social media about it. But it's funny how I didn't see enough people talking about your kick returning in that game.
They talk about whatever they want to talk about at the end of the day.
Well, knock it off.
Like,
how about that?
it's just like whatever at the end of the day. Like, they ain't,
But I mean, you had a field day out there.
It was solid.
I mean, how did you feel? And how do you enjoy kick returning?
Yeah, that's something I did in college. I think I set our school record in returns with like 6 or 7, I think. But yeah, that's just something that I like. If I can get the ball in space and be able to see everything and just like see it or minor space, is just like the second gear that I have when I see space. Is just like, it's just a second opportunity for me to, try to help the team in any way I can.
Well, you did. What was it? 200 something?
I don't know. You know better than me.
200 something. That's what I know. I know it was over 200. Okay. I did check that. Any final thoughts you want to talk about in terms of just like where the 49ers are at? Obviously, you guys haven't really had a ton of time to practice this week and get ready for your upcoming game, which we'll get into in a little bit. But any other final thoughts you've got?
Nah, not really. Kind of just stated what we have to do to win. Chicago coming up.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get to that. But at the end of the day, like, we still have a chance. We take it week by week and just see what the future holds when we get there.
That actually brings me to one more question. What is your feeling or your opinion on any fan base, not just 49ers, any fan base that has the mindset of just tank the season?
Because that's kind of tough. Because at the end of the day, like, if you go out there and you put bad shit on tape, then that's what you're putting out as a player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know too much about the tanking stage. Never been a part of it, so I don't know what that feel like.
So it sounds like the 49ers just don't have that in their vocabulary. So if you're a 49ers fan and you think that's what they should do, it's probably not happening. Let's move on to the State Farm Bundle of the Week. There were some pretty exceptional football performances this weekend, one of which was against my Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that boy had to get, that boy said.
Former Denver Bronco.
That boy had to get back now.
Wow. And he absolutely did. Jerry Jeudy with a phenomenal 9 catches, 235 yards, and a touchdown in his revenge game against the Denver Broncos. Full transparency, I felt like when Jerry Jeudy left, there was no real animosity, but I think when you look back on his time with Denver, it was kind of like,
yeah,
I don't know if people loved him in Denver as much as maybe they should have, but to see him thriving, to see him doing what he needs to do, he said he wanted to go back in there and whoop their ASS. And so, the Browns may not have won, but he certainly
he snapped,
whooped the way that he wanted to,
snapped.
I would imagine. So, did you get a chance to watch that game?
Yeah, I watched it. He was going nuts. He could have had about 300.
He played very well.
Could have had about 300 on your head now, but that boy had a day.
He looked really
great.
He had
a day now. He was in that mode.
I was at that game. Obviously very excited about my Broncos getting it done, but that game was pretty close.
It was. Now
I wasn't feeling like overly confident at any point in that game. I actually think I posted on my Instagram and was like, I have a feeling it's going to be a long night, and it was all the way down till felt like the final seconds. Did you get a chance to see what Jameis had to say after the game?
No, what happened?
Quarterbacks, they tend to go on the, post game, and they sound, I always joke and say Russell Wilson sometimes sounds like a Pinterest board because he's just so like, he always says the right thing and it's very motivational. Well, Jameis Winston says he hopes the Lord delivers him from pick sixes. It's pretty, mic drop. I think he had a mic drop before the game too. He said something that was very Pinteresty.
Like
so
his energy is through the roof.
Very much.
His speeches are, yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's just his whole demeanor is like up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is happy kid, happy kid, happy kid, happy kid, happy kid. So it's just, I think it's just him.
Yeah. And what's interesting is despite having 2 pick sixes in that game and then a late interception that basically sealed the win for the Broncos, he still had a good game. Yeah. That's what's crazy. Like from a yards. Yeah. He still had a really great game. Okay. And then let's talk a little bit about Jeudy wanting their get back against their old team. Do you think that that's just the nature of? That's like. It doesn't even have to end on bad terms. Like
even
that's
if it ended
just
on good terms. When you go in there, you gotta like you in that mode. Like
you have to.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Even if you still like good relationship with the coaches, good relationship with the guys.
When you step on that field and they ain't your coaches no more, and they ain't your teammates no more, you love them to death. You appreciate them when you step in between them lines, and they on the opposite side. It's just like. It's time for business at this point. And at the end of the game, we'll shake it up. I tell you, I love you, I appreciate you, this, that, and the third. But in between the white lines, ain't no friends out there.
Do you think that some of the get back is also for fans?
Oh, for sure.
Because I do feel
you got fans that they be like, yeah, I'm happy that this happened. Da, 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 da. Are you 230, 9 catches, tug?
Okay, but he wasn't doing that in Denver. Full transparency.
When the out present itself, he's
correct.
He rise to the
I'm gonna give him his credit. He cooked. He's doing what he needs to do. But with Denver, it just wasn't a good fit. He wasn't cooking like this in Denver.
Fit is not for everybody. Everybody has their own fit.
There you go. So Jerry Jeudy, nonetheless, got his get back. Looked phenomenal.
Was you one of the fans to be like, "Yo, Jerry Jeudy"? What was your, since you Bronco for all your life, like, what was your, like, was you one of the fans like, yes, Jerry Judy's gone, or you like, what was your reaction to that?
I am very happy for his performance, but yes, there was a moment. You know what it was to me? I think, which again is actually really not fair of me to speak on because I don't know him on a personal level. Felt like sometimes his attitude about losses and just the frustrations that maybe rub me sideways sometimes.
But you gotta think, like, with this game, like, you pour your all in the game. Like,
I
don't like losing.
Listen, it's easy for me to speak from my couch while I'm wrapped up in a blanket watching football. Very easy for me to get my Twitter fingers going.
Maybe he don't like losing. I don't like losing. Nobody like losing. Everybody take losses different. So you can't be like his attitude when you lose and da-da-da-da-da-da. My question was, what was your reaction when y'all sent him to the Browns.
I don't think Judy was a good fit for the Broncos, so I was not upset that he left.
Oh, well, are you now?
Well, I'm upset that he put 235 on our head. Absolutely. And I will say, I really do love seeing him thrive. And again, look at our next bundle. Russell Wilson, okay? Another former Bronco. Now, Russ is cooking, okay? 29 of 38, 414, 3 touchdowns. This is another example, which is a perfect transition into Russ now, where...
So what was your feelings on Russ?
Oh, I loved Russ. I said many, many times last season that he was not the problem. I just don't think that him and Sean Payton are a good fit.
Okay.
That was it.
Right.
I actually was a little bit more disappointed in the way in which the Broncos and Sean Payton departed from Russ. Kind of felt like they threw in the towel and just didn't want anything to do with him. But again, to see him thrive, it's showing.
Russ is Russ now.
Right.
Russ ain't changed now.
No, he still got it. And
Shout
that was
Mike Tomlin too, man.
I love Mike Tomlin.
I seen something the other day where he said he's been the head coach for 18 years, never had a losing season. That's tough there. But yeah, back to Russ.
He's doing what he needs to do.
29, 38, 414. How many points they scored? They scored like 30, 40?
Yeah, I think they may have been up in the 40.
It was like 34, 40.
40 something. Yeah, they were in the 40s.
Yeah, I think
it was a phenomenal game. And the Steelers, I think, pleasantly surprising their fan base. They're at the top of the AFC North right now. Do you think the Steelers have what it takes to win the AFC?
Them boy playing ball now. Them boy playing ball.
You think they can do it? AFC's tough.
Nah, for sure.
Bills, Chiefs,
Baltimore.
Broncos.
Baltimore.
What about Broncos?
Broncos.
Yes, Baltimore as well. I mean, the AFC is stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Do the Steelers have what it takes to win it? They've got defense.
They definitely got defense. They got
the
Russ
coach.
cooking.
Got Russ. I mean,
got little Pickens out there going crazy now.
It's going to be interesting. The AFC could actually be right now for you to pick someone out of the AFC. Well, that's what we're doing. Who would you pick right now? Out of the AFC. I won't make you do the NFC because you're in there and you guys are still fighting.
I'm going Baltimore.
Okay.
I'm going Baltimore.
I mean, hard to fade you there. I mean, they look pretty good. What makes you say Baltimore over the other teams?
It's Lamar.
He's just different.
It's Lamar, and you got Derrick Henry right beside him. You got great defense. It's just Lamar in the offense, and the defense is. But like we just said, you got a lot of good teams over there. You got the Bills, you got the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Steelers, and Baltimore. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Baltimore.
What's interesting is I think if you asked most people right now who's coming out of the AFC, they would not pick the team that currently has the best record.
Got the best record.
We don't say their name in this house.
Whooping ass.
They're winning, but
they close games.
They're very close games.
And if they close, yeah.
There's room for error. There's some error there.
Is it? Are they allowing error? But it's not I'm not going to speak on that, but they're winning.
I know, but I don't like it very much. Yeah. I'm an AFC West football fan, so I don't like it. I'm not about it. But no, I mean, there's tons of talent in the AFC. Let's talk about one of the other games that came out of Sunday. Tough one. Texans, Jags. Let's start with, did you see the hit on Trevor Lawrence?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
We did find out 3-game suspension for the hit. First and foremost, I think we should just put out there, hoping and praying that Trevor Lawrence is healing okay and everything's good. Obviously, when you see any player go down and they're in the fencing position, you know that there's got to be some sort of head trauma there, and I've been thinking about him and hoping he's doing okay. What was your perspective as an offensive player, not just on the hit, but kind of the reaction of the Jags coming to defense of their quarterback? I mean, what was your perspective after seeing it all unfold?
We get there. I just speak on, if you hit my quarterback like that, it's up. I'm crashing, 100%, no question. So I get that part. Of it, but 3-game suspension. It's kind of, if it was
tough.
me, would you suspend him for 3 games? if it was Derrick Henry, he hit Derrick Henry like that, is he suspended for 3 games? I think it's more so protecting the quarterbacks.
Of course.
Do
you think the league needs to do stuff like that?
And it's kind of hard though, because at the end of the day, like, no offense to neither side. You got the Josh Allens in the league, you got the Trevor Lawrence, you got the Lamar Jacksons, and they're pretty talented quarterbacks. They could run you over, they can run past you. So I feel like if you see Trevor Lawrence or any one of those guys running at you, you have to be prepared to tackle. Also be prepared for them to slide. But at the end of the day, a guy running at you that fast and you running at him, it's kind of hard for you to, like, in a split second, be like, all right, he's going down. So a 3-game suspension, I think that's a bit much. I think I kind of seen a video of that GM or owner was talking about how the league want to, kind of like protect the players. And he said something along the lines that I kind of thought about. They can't have contact with him for 3 weeks. But what if he going through some things and needed some people to lean on, and the people that he lean on is in the building? He can't even interact or lean on none of the people that's in the building. He has to kind of get through it himself in a way. But I
don't agree with that. I don't like that.
Not my spot to talk about any of those things. It's just something that I heard, and when he said it, I was like, yo, I didn't even, if you suspend it, that's how it works. I didn't know. So yeah, that's
because you don't get detention very often.
Yeah,
you're a well-behaved student, Deebo.
That's and I know Azeez very well. One of my other brothers for sure. I talked to him afterwards, and it wasn't intentional. But
so his heart.
Oh, for sure. I played with him.
Because here's the deal. I, as a fan, just watching moments like that, I actually put out into the social media universe that I said, help educate me because I'm struggling to call this a dirty hit.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know him, so it's interesting now to hear your perspective, knowing him personally and knowing.
I know him on a personal level. He played here for 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, one of those, and it's just his swag, like his pop-up swag for us. Like the defensive people know what we're talking about. When he hit somebody, he got the swag, like the swag walk, and like he talk shit, but he's not talking to you. He's walking away, but you still know he's talking. Like, it's just him. Like, I don't think that was intentional at practice. We had him, Fred, and Greenlaw. I mean, one of the hardest hitters I ever seen in person. Played against for sure, and that's just what we dealt with every day.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is just how he plays. This is how he practices. That clip doesn't show who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm him, as you see, he put out an apology to Trevor Lawrence and all the stuff that
He apologized to everybody. It seemed like
he apologized. He apologized to everybody because that kind of shows the person that he really is. At the end of the day, he's not trying to take nobody out. He's playing the sport, I think, the way that he's always been taught to play it.
Yeah.
And, you always got the guys that, all right, he's dirty this, he's dirty that. At the end of the day, like, I feel like if I'm him in that situation and, as I'm getting up and somebody beating on the back of my head, it's like, I got to get in defense mode.
Yeah.
And so, not to talk about it too much, I feel like, with his apology and me knowing him personally, none of it was an intentional. I just think 3 games is
crazy.
It's a little much.
Especially when you add in the fact that there's this like no contact situation with that 3-game suspension. Because like you said, I mean, I'm sure he gets on social media. I'm sure he sees what people say. It's going to be tough to not play. This is the sport you guys love. And if he can't be in contact.
You're in the heart of the season. Like, December is playoff football. This is where you need to be your best. This is the games that you need to make the run that you want to make. And with that time off, I know, like, me personally, I'll be in a nutshell. I'll just be like, somebody help.
Yeah, no. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that the slide that was done in that play is the reason that it happened. But could you see a world where, not now, but maybe soon, they do away with the baseball slide by quarterbacks because it is so quick.
It's so fast.
It's so fast. And that's what I kept saying on social media was when you slow it down, I could see where the word dirty could maybe come from. But when it's when it happened like that, it was like,
because you got like
I couldn't tell.
You
so
got the quarterbacks
it's fast. It's
that'll
very,
run you
very
over.
fast.
You got the quarterbacks that'll run you over, and you got the quarterbacks that you know that's going to slide. And like Kyle talk about this every week, depending on the quarterback that we play. Like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, them guys are like, they're barely sliding. They're going to run you over, run past you, juke you. So you have to like know who you're going against. And Trevor Lawrence is one of those bigger quarterbacks that can run. I played against him at Clemson. He get out the pocket. He got little wheels on him. So you have to be prepared for both.
Yeah. I could see them. I could see a world where they X that slide altogether just to, like you said, protect the quarterback. I think that's something that they've taken very seriously. We've seen Tua get rattled, and it's very scary to watch. So I could see them doing away with it. The Texans' next 3 games: Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens. What's it going to look like without him?
Those are games. Them like
Tough.
the Dolphins' record don't really show how good they is as a team as a whole. But if you look at their roster, you like, yo, we got to stop this person. We got to stop this person. We got Ramsey over here. You got this person over here. You got Raheem. You got A-Chain, Waddle, Tua, Tyreek. It's just like
the Dolphins are hunting for the playoffs.
They definitely hunting, so they're hungry. You got the Chiefs, who's the Chiefs, 100%. You got the Ravens, who we was just talking about how good they is with Lamar and Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and all those guys. It's just like these are the games you're gonna need.
Yeah.
And for you not to have one of your leaders, one of your captains out there, get kind of shaky a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a game to talk about here. We've got the Thursday night football this week. Yeah. Packers-Lions. Divisional game, okay? Divisional game.
It's going to be 1-1.
Woo! Let's talk a little bit about this one. The NFC. The top of the NFC is getting real crowded up top.
11-1. You got Lions 11-1, the Eagles 10-2, Vikings 10-2, Packers 9-3.
You know what's crazy? Of those 4 teams, for some reason, the Packers feel the scariest. Because I feel like you don't know what you could get. At any given moment, that team could go ballistic. We saw it last season in the playoffs against the Cowboys. I mean, they embarrassed the Cowboys. So, I don't know. That's this game I really feel like could go either way.
This is going to be a good one.
Very good.
How well the Lions playing, of course. How well the Packers playing. I think, just looking at these guys, the Packers, you got Josh Jacobs playing probably at the top of his game.
They look great.
For sure. He's running the ball well. He's making plays out of the backfield. You got a young quarterback over there who's, poised in the pocket, making the right decisions. Just get back to the Lions. You got Jared Goff. You got 2 running back ones. You got David and Gibbs, St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Like this is gonna be a matchup for sure.
Super. Who would you put top 4 teams in the NFC right now?
Out of this order right here.
No, just NFC in general. Doesn't have to be NFC North. But the NFC North kind of feels like the top 4.
I think that's what I said. We go Detroit.
That's 1.
We go to Eagles, Packers, then Vikings.
Okay. So, put them side by side. The Lions roster, the Eagles roster. Which team do you think is better?
That's tough.
This is with every player doing what they need to do. Both quarterbacks having a great game.
Nothing.
No injuries, nothing. You put those 2 rosters side by side. Which one you picking?
Ooh. You said Eagles, Lions?
Mm-hmm.
I got to go Lions.
Oof. I know our producer Ron is hurting right now.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm
Okay.
gonna only go Lions because the 2 running backs.
Okay.
You got, Gibbs. You got David.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, in Philly, you got Saquon, who can really count for 2-3 running backs. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think they can go receiver for receiver. I don't think. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. But you go receiver for receiver over there with no injuries. You go D-line for D-line for sure.
It's tough.
Without Hutchinson hurt. without Graham, Terrence Peck or something like that. I think they go blow for blow. I think it's that one tough. That one tough.
That is tough because truly they are both playing great football right now, and like you said,
yeah, I think that's a tie.
He's going back on a statement. He's giving
I think
it
that's a tie because Saquon is 2 running backs on his own, so
that's fair.
Yeah.
If we're looking at them, both teams healthy, it's really
that'd be a game.
They're kind of evenly matched.
Just an even match.
NFC North crazy right now. NFC really just football in general is crazy right now. It seems it's kind of all over the place, and we'll now preview your game. Chicago Bears have been struggling. I think some would say 49ers have been struggling. So this might be kind of a good opportunity for you guys to find some momentum, get some rhythm going again. No CMC, no Jordan Mason. You're going to have to make some adjustments, but this might be a good opponent to do that against. How are you feeling going into this game?
Feeling solid. We get in tomorrow. Check out the game plan. Get in the tape a little bit. Watch a little tape later on tonight. But it's kind of like getting back to what I said earlier for us. Playing complementary football, for us like feeding off each other energy. I feel like every week is a great opportunity. So why not now?
Yeah. Have you had a chance to watch Caleb Williams at all this year?
I watch him a little bit whenever I get a chance.
How do you feel about him?
He's solid. He's doing a good job.
He's a lot of scrutiny being thrown his way throughout the year. I feel like any quarterback that's a part of the Bears franchise gets a lot of scrutiny from fans that are just ready for some winning seasons and are growing impatient. But he is still a rookie, so everyone's got to be a little bit patient with the process there. What do you think it's going to take for the 49ers to get a win against the Bears? Besides that, what's it going to take from Deebo?
That's what it takes.
Okay, game's on the line. Deebo Samuel has to win the game for the 49ers against the Bears. What do you have to do?
Score.
Oh my God. What do you have to do differently?
Score.
Okay, that's actually fair. Actually, that answer does work for both questions that I asked. So perfect. Deebo's got to score. There we go. Do you think you can?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know you can.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Are you feeling motivated?
At all times.
Always. Okay, let's wrap things up here with some chat questions. Deebo, make your case for South Carolina to make the college football playoffs. They're 14th right now.
They was 14th going in that game, right?
Think so.
14th or 15th, if I'm not sure. Where do I start? I think with the Clemson was ranked 12. We beat them. So I think that should help in a good bit.
Yeah.
I think us and Bama has 3 losses. Bama lost to Vandy. We beat the brakes off Vandy. Bama lost to Oklahoma. We beat the brakes off Oklahoma. We lost to Bama by 2. We lost to LSU. We up 3. Pick 6 called back from roughing the passer, which I don't agree with the call 100%. And we just lost to Ole Miss. So, you could say we only lost 1 game, but the record shows we lost 3. Bama done lost to 2 teams that we blew out. So it's kind of, in my sense, with me being in college, I feel like Bama always gets the favor in.
They complain a lot
in these aspects of the game, but I think South Carolina has a wonderful, amazing chance to make it. And me personally, by me knowing what I know, and seeing how it goes, if they don't get in, I'm shocked. Just because of the reasons I was just telling you about. So if you look at it that way, I think in the league, if you got a tie, you look at the point difference between how much you won by, how much you lost by, and if it came down to that, we win.
Alabama likes to complain, though. I think they actually complained so much that we went ahead and made it a 12-team playoffs, and they're still complaining.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. How big would it be for South Carolina to make the playoffs?
That's huge.
Massive?
That's definitely massive. One, just, Starting the season off unranked. Kind of started off slow, and we started to pick it up late. But Coach Beamer and them boys doing an amazing job over there in South Carolina. So I think if they don't get in, it's just I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
What do you think about the QB for South Carolina?
That man talented. He got all the talent in the world. Can throw the ball downfield. He make a lot of plays with his legs whenever the situation. So he can make a bad situation way better than what it is, just by the things that he do. So yeah.
When you went home for that South Carolina game, did you get a chance to talk to the team at all?
No. I just went in there. I went and sat in the receiving room for a little minute just to hear like their terminology of plays compared to ours, and it's just like two like
different worlds.
3 words mean all right the whole play. Meanwhile, our whole playbook is a sentence long. I mean, our whole one play is a sentence long, so it's just like
very different. Well, it'd be huge for South Carolina. Hopefully, they can get the respect they deserve. If you had to vote right now for Heisman winner, Deebo, this is coming from the chat here. Ashton, did I say that funny? I think I kind of did. Or Travis. You've got Travis Hunter, who's kind of doing some like.
I'm going T Hunt.
Are you?
I'm going T Hunt. I'm going T Hunt with this one. Like he's just a ball player. Like anywhere.
He finds a way.
All he knows is ball. Cornerback, pick 6 last week, I think. I think he had 3 tugs. Like, he's just a ball guy. Like,
it's pretty incredible.
He's doing it on both sides of the ball, so it's kind of like, how can you not, Play 60 plays over here, 60 plays over there. Going against one of your best receivers and locking up your best receiver. So it's just like, all right, now we're going offense. Now you're doubling them, but still finding a way to get open. It's just like, how can you not?
Do you think it's a close race between him and Jeanty?
Off stats, yeah. Off film, nah.
So the eye test says Hunter all day long.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. Jeanty is
Jeanty's doing what he needs to do.
He doing phenomenal, amazing, unheard of numbers. 31
and you think
touchdowns.
he'll be just fine in the league, you think? The NFL?
312 carries, almost 2,500 yards, 31 touchdowns.
That is nuts.
You got Travis Hunter, 92 catches, almost 1,214 touchdowns, cornerback 1. So it's like, if Travis just played offense, Jeanty for sure.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I agree.
But Travis played both ways and playing both ways at a high level, like making game-changing plays on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
So it's like,
he's playing both well, too. It's not like he's doing both and one of them is suffering. He's doing it all right now, and he's doing it all very well. So that I agree with you there, that if he were just playing offense, it'd be different. But the fact that he's doing both right now, I don't even think it's a conversation anymore, which is crazy because I think before the season started, there was probably like 6 or 7 players that were favored ahead of him for the Heisman. So
I don't too much know about college football, but I know
what
I see.
He's great.
Yep.
Okay, final one. Deebo, Chris Jones said that teams should get a late season bye week because of the quick turnaround between games now Sunday to Thursday. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree because just imagine you got a Sunday night game and then you got to play on Thursday. I mean, and say you got an away game, right? So you got to fly back home.
I was going to say, people forget about the travel part.
You got to fly back home, probably get home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. And then on a Tuesday, your Tuesday is your Wednesday and Thursday. So you got to put 2 playbooks in one day. You got to go out there and practice. Then on Wednesday, supposed to be a walkthrough, but you have to put your Friday work in on a Wednesday. And that's only 2 days. Like, force your mental and your body, like, coming off what we call it, ice bag game on a Sunday night and gotta go play another one on Thursday. It's just like your body is beat. There's nowhere near enough time for your body to recover. A week is already not enough time if you ask me.
Yeah, no.
So
I mean,
I think that's necessary.
It's not enough for me, and all I do is laundry and fly here and do all my other stuff. But I'm definitely not playing football, so couldn't imagine that. What is your favorite way to decompress on your days off from football?
I sleep and play 2K.
You do make sure you sleep though.
Yeah.
How many hours do you average each night?
I have no idea. I just go to sleep whenever my eyes close.
Are you a morning person?
When I get up, I'm up.
Oh.
Like when my alarm go off, I'm not gonna be like
I'm evil.
hitting the alarm when the alarm go off. I'm gonna click the little button, go on, hop up, go on work.
Full transparency. Nearly missed my flight today because I think my alarm went off 35 times.
Your loss.
Yeah.
Not mine.
It would have been yours too.
Nah, I could.
He would have missed me. Don't let him lie to you guys. This is crazy. He's lying. Anyway, I think that does it for another episode of Cleats and Convos with Deebo Samuel. I'm Liv Moods, presented by State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Always there. No matter
Always,
what.
at all times.
At all times. They've got your back. Thank you for being here, and we will catch you guys next week for another episode. See ya.
G2G.